So let's talk some Buff recruiting now. Adam, how do you feel? How would you grade this past portal class, right? The one that we just saw come in.
I give it a solid B. Yeah, no, I mean, especially like just the number standpoint of what you brought in. And one of the things I wrote going into this transfer portal window is that outside of QB1 and punter, I mean, the needs were across the board. And to be able to fill that number of needs in such a short window, knowing that you're not going to have that spring transfer portal window to add even more. There was a lot of pressure on Darius Darden-Box and that recruiting staff at CU. And I think they did a great job. I like the emphasis on guys, especially defensively, that are just, former team captain, or I am leading tackler on my team. I'm all conference. A lot of the things that you look for in terms of guys jumping up from that level, that and is every one of them going to translate perfectly? No. But you're going to get enough Cameron Craigs, I feel like, in this mix that's going to make this a better team. There's a little bit more of a competitive edge to this group as opposed to last year. I know they brought in some Power 4 guys that were backups this cycle, but last year it seemed like that was more of kind of the recipe. And you had some guys collecting checks in there. I mean, let's be honest about it, And so I don't foresee that with this group now until adversity strikes, because I don't think a year ago we would have been pessimistic about that transfer class. So I got to be honest about that too. But I like the makeup of this group.
Yeah, I think that's a great call out. I think I had tweeted it early in the portal cycle was like, hey, I don't think they're going to be basing it too much on just like the rankings on the website. Like, we're going for more character and fit and actual need by position. And I'm glad you said the Otis thing, because it's kind of the thing that most people think, but hearing it from someone like you, I'm like, we can validate it a little bit further. I'm curious to know, like, if you had to, based on that overall B ranking, like, is there a position group that you think, got significantly better? Is there a position group that you think still needs a lot of improvement? Like, where's the top and where's the bottom for you at this moment?
I want to say, in I hope this is true for the Colorado Buffaloes, is that linebacker is improved the most.
Yeah.
I like 3 of the guys they brought in on that group, and I like the freshmen that they signed as well. You never know. Maybe there could be a Jordan Dizon and Addison Gillum in the mix there, Nate Landman. But as you can get a little bit out of one of those guys, maybe Crawford would be one of those guys as he gets in the college weight room, because his high school film is exceptional. I would say probably linebacker for me, because when you look at what Robert Livingston is trying to do defensively under Coach Prime, you got to have really good cornerback play and you got to have good linebackers. They didn't have that last year. And we saw how that resulted. The previous year, back in 24, they had both those things and they won 9 games. So cornerback, I like a lot of the pieces there. I'm anxious to see how that comes together. I would have liked to see more another blue chipper join the mix there to kind of put cornerback in with that linebackers group in terms of this optimism we're talking about right now. But defensively, those were the 2 spots that I felt needed to be upgraded the most, and I felt they did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. Last year I was like, we're winning 9 games last year. I did my whole thing, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a deep breath and see how this goes, because like you said, the players they did target this year, right? Like you said, captains, high character guys, and had a lot of production, right? For the most part, or you're the one-off like crazy freak athlete, right? So I really like how they attacked it. I'm just I'm pessimistic though, kind of how you said a little bit with this. So was there and you kind of already talked about it, but it sounds like the difference from this year's class to last year's was the poor. I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, if you were to go back, and rate last year's class before we knew how it played out. Did you put a grade on them last year, Adam?
B-. Yeah,
B-
last year.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have this one improved. So you kind of saw a little bit of the holes then of the portal.
But that was wrong. I got to admit that. I mean, that was not a B- group in terms of
it was
performance. So
what would you rate it?
I was wrong just a year ago.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was so big on Salter and Jahimotis.
Yeah,
So I did that too. And it just, this class feels better though. Even the videos, Miles and I will text back and forth throughout the week or whenever it is. I'm like, man, it looks like, that year Shador and Travis were there, the competitiveness and practice, you can see that in them. I think we talked about one a week ago where, Boo Carter he looked like he was he's sucking some wind there, having a hard time with the elevation, but everybody's like, come on, get in here, come on. And it's we didn't see a lot of that last year. If that, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it just feels better this year.
Yeah, I mean, Cormani was kind of over there by himself with that trash can back a couple years ago.
yeah, true.
Yeah. No,
times.
Sometimes you got to temper because they're putting stuff out you want to see, right?
True.
See you. Again, it comes back to like real leadership does not show itself until the football season, and so you spend all off season trying to project that. And the truth of the matter is that you really, really don't know until you lose a game that you thought you would have won. And how does the team respond at that point? Last year, you heard players go back, especially on some of those road trips where you're a little bit closer to the team. And there were a handful of leaders that were fed up, but there was not enough of them. So getting more of that buy-in. I was just watching the tug of rope episode on Well Off Media, and that was fun to see. And you love to see the competitiveness. You got to drive that up. It does seem like this team likes each other. So it's good stuff you've seen. It just, man, you said it like a minute ago. Like, you kind of temper things a little bit, right? After a tough season.
Yeah, I'm going to be very, very cautiously optimistic, and I'm even debating, like, do I even make a prediction? Because I was so bad last year. I was so excited. Miles, so just telling you, I'm not sure if I'm going to make a prediction for the season because I want to be completely off, man.
So I'll be the third in the group that says that they were overconfident last year. I lost a lot of money on the betting sites, and it's caused me to delete I'm not betting on any of this stuff ever again. But I know we've taken a good amount of your time here. So I got one more question for you, and then we'll jump into some rapid fire if that works for you.
Yeah.
Is there, and this is Juju Lewis excluded, is there a player you're most excited for, or you think is going to take like the biggest leap or make the biggest impact on this current roster?
Ooh, who I'm really excited to see in this offense, guys, is DeKalen Taylor. We saw some flashes of that early on last season. And I just think this is the perfect back for this offense. And if he can stay healthy, I think DeKalen Taylor could become a household name in the Big 12. I really just think that he is a guy that is primed, that is not getting talked a lot about, because what we like to do is talk about new and the new transfers. But he's a returning guy that, man, I can't wait to see what he looks like in this go-go offense.
Totally agree. Such a great call.
Yep. I like it.